This is question 20 in test 6, section 2, page 705. So this is a string problem that's basically getting you to input information into a function, but it's representing the fact that there's a function through the symbol of the square. Okay, so for all numbers x and y, let the operation square be defined as x square y equals xy minus y. If a and b are positive integers, which of the following can be equal to 0? Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're just gonna plug in the information and see which of these might be able to give you 0. Okay, so let's do it with the first one. So a squared b, it just is a fancy way of telling you x equals a, y equals b. So then you're just gonna plug in the information in that order. So you get ab minus b. So which of these could be equal to 0? So then you have to do some tricky thinking. You have to say, since these x and y values, or a and b values, are positive, then you know that you can't have 0 as one of the terms, but you could have 1. So let's say you could have 1 as a or b, or 2 as a or b, and then let's just plug those in. Okay. They could each be 1 even. So let's say 1 times 1 minus 1 equals 0. So that tells you that this one could be 0. Okay. So for this one, you really do want to think about the extremes. So 1 is kind of the most extreme positive number that you could plug in, and that's probably going to be what makes some of these answers 1. Okay, so that one was actually the easiest one. Now we have to plug in the information for a plus b squared b. So I'm just going to erase to make room for this. And this is the last question, so you shouldn't be surprised if it takes you a long time. It's designed to be difficult. Okay, so now we have a plus b square b. So it's just telling us x is a plus b and y is b. So now we're just going to plug that in. So we have a plus b filling in as x, and then that times b, which is our y value, minus b. And let's try again with a equaling 1 and b equaling 1. So you'd get 1 plus 1 times 1 minus 1. So in this case, you'd get 2 times 1, which is 2, minus 1, equals 1. So we know that a equaling 1 and b equaling 1 doesn't give us an answer of 0, but we should test at least one other combination. So let's see. We'd want b to be the bigger number since it's getting subtracted. So let's say what happens when b is 2 and a is 1. Okay, so if we do that, we'll get 1 plus 2 times 2. And I could already see it's not going to work because b could never be big enough for you to be able to subtract b and have it give you 0. Because this would be 3 times 2 minus 2. So 6 minus 2 equals 4. So it's never going to equal 0 because this has to be a positive number, and it has to be, at the very minimum, it has to be 2 because it's addition. It would have to be 1 plus 1 since a and b have to be positive. So 2 times b can never give you 0 when b is subtracted from it. So 2b minus b will never be 0. So this one can't be possible. So now we just have to see. Let me see if I can move it back. We just have to see if our last answer choice could work. And we already can even get rid of some of these potential answer choices, but let's just wait because we're basically deciding between between A and E. Okay. So now we have A square A plus B. So this will give us A times A plus B. minus a plus b, because remember a plus b is y here. So that's why we have minus a plus b at the end there. Okay, so now let's think about what these values could be. So let's try with a equals 1 and b equals 1. So then we get 1 times 1 plus 1, which is 2, minus 1 plus 1. So that's also 2. So 2 minus 2 equals 0. So yes, this could give us 0. So then we know 1 and 3 both work. So E is our right answer.